Formally welcome you to Build to Last. Build to Last is a weekly entrepreneurship and business mastery coaching session that we bring ourselves together as small business owners and entrepreneurs to learn the tricks and strategies and some ideas as what we can do to build our business to last. And this is because many of us have experienced it before many times when we are not doing well in our business and eventually we fail. So this program is done every week with the main purpose to invite professionals and people who have the skills, the experience, and the expertise to advise us as entrepreneurs and CEOs of small business owners on exactly what we need to do to be able to build our businesses to last. Everyone here goes into business for a reason. One, to help people to improve lives, and eventually, by creating value to solve societal problems, we are able to create some value for ourselves in terms of money and influence and all that in our societies. So in order to help us to do this well, that is why we do this every single week, to empower ourselves, to get the skills, to get the strategies. Tonight is not any other night, but as well a very, very important one also, where we are talking most importantly about money. And I've noticed that money has become one of the critical reasons why either we pass or we fail in running our businesses. So tonight we are talking about unlocking the secrets to entrepreneurial wealth creation, entrepreneurial strategies for financial freedom. What can we do as entrepreneurs to create wealth with a small business we've started, which eventually would one day would become a big company? But are you ready with a very strong foundation that you have laid today that's such that you'll be able to build your business on this one so that in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you'll be able to have a business that is thriving so well and is paying you and is taking care of you, and you're also making impact in society? That's what we're talking about today, wealth creation from your business. And to do this with us, as usual, I've told you we don't bring anybody here on this program, but we bring people who know what they're talking about, who have had the experience, who are actually doing what they are saying with a conviction that they know what they are doing to help us to do some of these things and have this learning. So they have none other but an entrepreneur, an engineer, and an author of a minimum of 8 books. But what is very interesting about this man that got me to actually buy all his books, the first day that I saw his post about the books, I actually ordered for all the books and they were delivered to me here in Kumasi. What actually got me to buy the books was the fact that this man has a BSc in agricultural engineering from KNUST and an MSc in bioprocessing engineering from UCD. Probably he was explaining to us what UCD is. How come somebody who has background in agriculture and engineering and bioprocessing has become such a successful entrepreneur and helping people across Africa to build successful businesses? How did he do it? He has done it. We have none other but Mr. Kwabena Oben Dako, who is joining us all the way from Accra to share with us his experience as far as wealth creation is in entrepreneur businesses. Mr. Dako, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful tonight. I'm so honored, first of all, that you are joining us tonight. And as busy as you are, as what words can I use? I want to get the right adjectives. As knowledgeable and as experienced as the most sought after entrepreneur from agric into building businesses and helping as many people to join us tonight. I'm honored, and we are all honored tonight for you to have time with us. So we are grateful for joining us. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Chinubu Akodia, thank you. And it's a good course that you have taken, bringing knowledge to our people.
Thank you.
A man cannot do much until there's knowledge, and if anybody gives you knowledge, they have virtually given you everything because with it, we build, so I'm honored to be here.
Thank you very much. Wow, I already see, wow, our hero, lecturer, teacher. Somebody has already put something in the comment already for us. That's interesting. Mr. Dako, we'll just go straight into tonight's discussion. You are in the entrepreneurial space, you are in the small business space, and you are there and you have grown up to this point. Why do people go into entrepreneurship? Why do people go into starting their own businesses? And why is it that we're not seeing many successful small businesses that are creating wealth to impact their families and impact society?
Okay, thank you. As you said, I did engineering, but with agric. You have civil engineering, electrical engineering. So those who have engineering background, they know that different kinds of engineering. And so first degree engineering, second degree engineering as well. I focus on process engineering. That was outside Ghana. The fact is, a lot of definitions a lot of things that they have told us, that after you have come from school, somebody will give you a job. I think many of these things come from, of course, the examples that they give us in school. And you and I know that much of what we are taught is not tailored for our environment. Because if that were true, we would not have as many young people who complete school and who go around looking for a job. Because the job must be created by somebody. And yet, you and I know that how many people can our government take? And how many of the businesses that we have here in Ghana that Ghanaians have created that are employing, let's say 100 or 200 or 1,000 people? Which means that the idea that when you complete school, go and look for a job is an idea that I think we're just hanging it on our neck, which has to be challenged based on our environment, based on the reality that we have. When I was a young man, we could hear of, or we would hear of graduate unemployment. Yeah. I thought that in my 40s, it would be different, but it's not. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Which means the reality is that you don't produce the people from school and condition them to go and look for a job. No, I think it's an error. You condition them that when you go out, we are training you, we are giving you tools, we are giving you knowledge, skills, so that you go out and solve problems, especially economic problems, and have confidence in whichever problem that you're solving and be proud of it. That will mean that it does not matter the course that you actually read in school. What really matters is the skill set that you develop to come out and solve problems. And if that is the main conditioning from many of our universities, then we will not have a lot of our young people coming out and saying that nobody has employed them, and therefore there's no hope in our country. Because there are many challenges, there are many problems, there are so many difficulties on things that we need solution. And those are the things that we need a switch of mind from a lot of our young men and women to look around and see the waste. Look around and see agriculture, construction, education, the health sector, the solutions that we can bring out, the product and services in any of these areas, and have the confidence to say that I've started it from a room, and within 5-10 years, this one will become something. And so that's the kind of psyche that we actually happen to have, or happen to have had. And that is what has kept us going all these years. So I think it's a switch of mind from what the school generally gives you. At least when I was there, they were not training us to go and build businesses. Yeah. They were training us to go and look for a job. And I think that is still going on. And so the switch of mind would have to come from the individual. That I can read, I can write, I can do mathematics, calculus, all those. Now let me go out and do something that can be turned into a business.
I perfectly agree with you, because having been in the academia for all these years, in fact, when I was in the industry, there were many times that people would come from the school, first class and all that. And then one of these telecom companies, a car will be readily available for you, a laptop is ready, a phone is ready, everything's ready. Technically, your life is paid for. But guys who finished school, even master's program, would come, and the interview room, they failed. Yeah. And again, the question was, if we're trained to come out to get jobs, and you don't get a job based on whatever reasons they are, how come we can't start our businesses? And these are people who might have done 4 years business administration, probably specializing in one area, maybe HR, marketing, whatever it is. They don't get a job from the first degree. Number two, they go ahead and go and do their master's as well for another 2 years. So technically, these guys have gone to school for 6 years, plus national service, 7 years. They come out of these 7 years, out of all this education, they can't start their own business. Even when they start, they fail. And then when they're looking for jobs, they can't find it because their skill sets are not there. So for me, it was one of the biggest challenges, for the reason why I actually jumped into the academia, to see what I can also do to change this paradigm. And Mr. Darko, it's been challenging for me when I've tried to explain the same concept where you are coming from, to say, Jack, if you really want to take your life to the next level, yes, you're going to look for a job. Yes, you're going to start your own businesses. The school system, as per the curriculum we have now, can't get you there. Do it yourself. You'll be tagged like the 2-known lecturer.
Yeah.
And
yes.
It's a big issue.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I love history, and especially I love African history, because I think that the colonization, 2 instruments they used, the academia, the school, If you look at the history and how it started, you know, merely they were there to teach us how to read and write and follow the white man as a clerk. You know, they were not designed to actually develop the minds of our people, and you can see it.
Yeah.
So there's not much of thinking. So people who have gone through this academia, I mean, my grandfather or my other brother who didn't go to school will not speak English, will not wear suit and tie, will not wear trouser and tucking unless maybe he goes to church, which is another institution too. That was an extension. So I think that in terms of the way we look at life, colonization has had a lot of impact on our minds. And so we seem to think that the design of the colonizer should be kept in good shape. And his intention was, okay, you produce these people, they should come and work for me. And that is the culture that, I mean, the history or the foundation of the institution that you are in. It was designed so that they produce the people who will come and work to feed the colonizer or the system. And so now you are telling them that that is not the reality. That is a big shift. That's a big blow for them, because their core assignment or design or intent was to just produce the people who will come and somebody will just, you know, extract whichever that they have put in them for the economic gain. So now that you are telling your colleague who has gone through a system that has told him that somebody else must help you, you must depend on somebody, the government, you must depend on him, or an employer. Now you're saying that with all those trainings and years of labor, nobody is there to hold your hand. That's a big blow. And that's why they would have to fight you. Because for you to go and build, now you must think
Exactly.
beyond what they taught you.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I mean, the training, much of it is, we give you what is this, and you must define it as the lecturer was. You were not taught to think for yourself and be independent. As a matter of fact, how many of us add to the body of knowledge, if you want, even the academia? Yeah. A lot of our lecturers, do they even add anything original? No. Why? Because the essence is, so we have just given you this, just follow this system, and that's it. But you cannot survive outside with that kind of thinking, because those who are able to create must be people who are highly independent in thinking, and they must be people who are very much critical in thinking. And I dare say that is not part of the main training that I experienced in the secondary school or in the college.
I like the idea about the independent thinking. So now it beholds on we, the individual, me, to take it upon myself and say, if it has to be, it's up to me. Yeah. That's all about. And that's where your book on resilience really touched my heart when I bought it from you. Remember, I ordered all your books at once?
Yes, I remember.
I'm telling you. As soon as I saw it, I said, no, this has to support my own. And as soon as I received the books, I started reading all of them. And the one that really touched my heart was the resilience.
Resilience.
And exactly this is what we are talking about tonight. We are entrepreneurs. We are small business owners. And like we're saying now, if we don't have that independent mindset, thinking that if my business has to be, it's up to me, it will become very difficult. Would you want to throw some light on this? At this point where we have found ourselves in a system where we think that we are dependent on somebody else, what can we do as entrepreneurs to take our lives and our own destiny in our own hands and say, let me go this way and get it done? How would you advise us on that?
Wow. The fact is that those who are successful in life beyond the status quo and beyond the systems established are those who are very much independent and self-confident. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about. For instance, the government could just tomorrow give me a position as a minister of something. And the next minute they give me Land Cruiser, my face is on TV, I have access to a lot of things because of the position, the portfolio. Is a system built by people or by the country. I write on that system and become powerful. Now, if the same person, I have to build a structure like that without that system, then I have to go through the entrepreneurial or the entrepreneurship route. And that will mean that I have to have a lot of confidence in my ability to build that. And in you going to build anything, you need a lot of strength, a lot of strength. And that's where resilience comes in. Because I mean, it will come to your ability to keep going when everything else is telling you that it is not the right thing. When everything is telling you that this is not the way. When you have failed so many times, when people you trusted let you down. When the money that you took that you were so sure that was not going to fail now has become a serious, issue. People are threatening you with court cases and the police, and maybe your mother now is calling the prophet to come and pray for you because there's a demon somewhere. The ability to keep going is that you're able to connect with your inner being. And you are saying that this is what I am meant to build. And there's a higher sense of purpose that I have to give birth to this business. And if everything else fails, this is what I want to be remembered of. That kind of thinking will mean that you can just give up. And if you fall 100 times, you will keep trying until you succeed. And as a matter of fact, I've never seen anybody who kept trying who would not succeed or who never succeeded. Because that is the mark of those who are achievers.
Yeah.
They are able to take the opposing wings, the blows, the hits, and still go. And that is what separates the others who have the system built for them and those of us who have to build the systems ourselves. And that is the difference between entrepreneurs and the others. And that's why about 98% of the wealth of the world, the wealth of any society, is with those people who can build themselves. And that's entrepreneurs. If you go to any fair community, fair environment, who are paid fairly, if you pick 100, 90% of them, the wealthy, are the ones who are able to build the systems of wealth creation themselves. And that is entrepreneurship. And that's the beauty. And that's why when you're a young man and you complete school and nobody gives you a job, it's actually an opportunity to build wealth, because 80%, 90% of the probability that you become financially free is in you building yourself.
Mr. Darko, I want to jump in here quickly. Like we just said, if we had a plane just at the tarmac and we said that the door is open for people to jump into it, I'm sure all Ghanaians will probably jump because they think that there are greener pastures elsewhere. If you decided to go and pick one of these young men or young lady and say, please don't get onto this plane, get out of it and stay here in our country, you'll be able to create wealth for yourself. What are the few things you advise this person to do to stay here and create wealth for him or for himself?
Wow. I hope they will not say I'm crazy. Because I think it's easier to become successful in our country than abroad.
I'm sure that's why people
especially those of you with
that's why I'm sure people think you are crazy for you to say this.
Yes, I think. But you see, we carry a lot of myth and misconception as Africans.
Yeah.
And so when you are here, you think that it's easier to travel abroad and get money. Some of them will even think that they go there to get capital. When you go, you are locked. Which capital? A lot of Ghanaians and Nigerians and Africans who are in America don't have any capital to come back and build. It's a system designed to keep. If 100 go, maybe just 5 will be able to come back and build anything.
Yeah.
And so if you, and many times even when you go, the kind of standard, the kind of work, the quality, the dignity around the work. You are a teacher here, teaching in the secondary school. If you go there without document, what are you going to do? It will take about 5 to 10 years to get a document. And even those who go with documents, many of our people are caretakers, watching old men, women, security, warehouse operative. I was there. I saw some, and I don't think that it's changed that much. So a young man, I would say that, listen, work on your African mindset.
Mindset.
Work on your confidence. Heal your mind and yourself from colonization or colonial syndrome. Because the colonial syndrome will make you look at the white man and his country as heaven. And until you solve that in your head, not much will help you. Because in that way, you will see everything that is here as evil and poor and disadvantage. Because that was the program. That's why when you go to church, you see the white Jesus there. You see angels are white. And when you see the demon, you say that it's an African. That's why when you watch BBC, CNN, every example about America is what? It's perfect.
Yeah.
At the same time, when they cast anything African, it's backward. And so our people are responding to the programming, which raises the others and puts the African down. And that's why the young man here would want to move from Ghana and thinking that when he gets there, he'll be successful, which is far from the truth. It is far easier to become successful here if you have healed your mind. If you have not healed your mind, I would say go. Because no matter what you achieve here, you still think that you could do better had you gone. So and the other thing is,
what do you mean by heal your mind?
Heal your mind, deal with colonial thinking.
Yeah.
The fact that any word that you use puts Africa down. So our leaders are corrupt. The black man is not intelligent. If you look at the white man, is everything. He's perfect. He's truthful. You know, you hear those things. If you keep saying those things, you have not healed your mind. It means that when you are building anything here and you meet difficulties, you will think that if you're in America, it will be easier.
Yeah.
That's what I see. I see it in a lot of our people, that even though they are successful here, they still don't see themselves as successful, because success, it has to be the white man.
Yeah.
So they must go there at all costs. That's why a lot of our people are selling their houses. People who have built businesses here still have not healed themselves from this kind of inferiority thinking. And so, I wish that our schools would work with that. But unfortunately, when you come out of the school, you're still inferior as an African, because a lot of the examples, if you want, the case studies in our schools will raise these other cultures and put us down. And we constantly hear that Africa is poor, Africa is underdeveloped. We are as if those countries are perfect. They are not. They're just highlighting their good side.
Yeah.
And we are not highlighting a good side. So I think that you have to inject yourself with that kind of antidote if you want. And once you're able to do that, then you'll start to see the blessings, wealth here. Because it takes a positive mind to be creative. If you're negative, everything that comes of that mindset will be negative. And so even when you are doing well, when you see wealth, because actually you use the mind to see, not your eyes.
Yeah.
And the way your mind has been trained is what you're seeing. So you can see the waste there, and you say that, oh, we are very dirty people. And somebody else will see the same waste and build a waste processing plant and become wealthy. So it matters the knowledge. So that young man, I would say that be positive as well. And the other thing is that I would say go and learn how a business is built.
Yeah.
There's an information, the entrepreneurship development process, if you want, or the entrepreneur development process. There are sequence, there are stages, there are structures that you must understand. And the other thing is that I would say that improve your financial education or your financial knowledge. Because it's not something that many of us know. And many of us don't even think that it's something that we must study intentionally and constructively. So many people want to create wealth, but they have little knowledge to work with. It's just like you thinking that a blacksmith or a carpenter without any training can produce a good result or a good product. That is almost not possible. Yeah. A surgeon has to be trained for almost 7-8 years before he can do the surgery. But you want to create wealth without any proper knowledge on money, and that is the problem. And so many of us are struggling in our businesses because our financial education is low, and we have not even taken time to study that. And some of us even will read some financial education books or financial books, but they are also contingent or built in the American standard, in the British standard. 90% of the books are coming from, and our examples are Elon Musk and Bill Gates. If they were here, they will not succeed, because the things that you have to deal with are entirely different. So you must study the wealth based on the culture that you operate in. And there's not much studies on our culture and how wealth is created in our culture. And so you have to give yourself that kind of education. And if you're able to do that, just give yourself time. You'll be highly, highly successful. I'm proud of yourself.
I would like to give this example. I mean, I'm touched with something that is giving me that extra confidence that it is possible that we can make it, irrespective of how we see ourselves. There was this lady who finished in our school, midwife, and then she was really struggling. The government posting hasn't come. Everyone depends on the government. So for 4 years, she's been home, not getting anything to do. So one day, we had a seminar and she came, and I was actually talking about creative entrepreneurship. How can you start something with a skill set that you have? And it's just picked the idea. And then about 3 months' time, she came back to me and said she wants to start a business. I said, what? Aren't you going to approach some that everybody's going? He said, no. Do you know what she did? She said that she had to learn a little bit more about some nursing things, because the nursing, there's something that she has to learn. And then she decided to look for people who have bad diabetic wounds. And because the wounds are so bad, because diabetic, they don't want to come to the public hospitals to have their wounds dressed up and all that. They're afraid. It's smelling. I mean, nobody wants to come to public to see those ones. So he said, I'm going to look for these people. I want to go to their homes and introduce myself to them as a professional health worker. to take care of your wounds at the comfort of your home. Nobody sees you. It's just me and you. When he said to me, I said, whoa, this is a good idea. So I said, can we find how many people we know who have this kind of wounds? The lady pulled a notebook and showed me 38 people, patients, who have terrible diabetic wounds, and she was going to work on them. The only thing she wanted me to help her to do was, how much does she have to charge to do this?
Wow.
I said, well, this is a very difficult area for me too. Don't worry. Let us go and do a litmus test. Let's pick just 3 of these people. Go and do it for them for free. When you are done, come back. Me and you would go and do the extra 2 to make it 5. And based on some interaction with the people, we'll see how much we want to charge. My brother, this lady is in serious business today.
That's right.
When all the other people are going to America, she says, stick in me. We go to Abrochi. Not 77 people will be, you know what they're going to do. And now she has got even the chance to even employ her colleague nurses and midwives who are at home, not posted, and they are doing the job for her, and they are paid well. She's getting better. The last time I saw her, she's driving a nice Toyota Corolla.
That's right. Yeah.
So it brings to mind that one is our mindset.
Yeah.
If we get ourselves out of this dependency mode and bring it to ourselves that yes, we have some inner power within us that we can create something out of our own creativity and our own strength, I think we can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a switch of mind. And
Exactly.
you looking at critical problems, being able to identify a problem.
Yeah.
And telling yourself that I'm going to deal with this and focusing on it. And the other thing is that being truthful to yourself, being honest in your dealings, and making sure that you build great work ethics. You work. You don't joke with the business. You don't joke with the project at hand. You don't joke with anybody that you give a promise to. No excuses. If it has to be done, until you are done with it, you don't give excuse. You are solution oriented, and you focus, and you say that my success is on this. If I'm going to become successful in life, it's the way I work. You tell yourself that one. I know a lot of us are highly religious, and so our success is in the hands of God. And that's why many people are poor. And when you say it, they throw blows at you, but that's the reality. God will not come from heaven and build your business for you. You see, as a man thinks in his heart, so the diligent hand shall prosper. These are tools of wealth. And so the thing that is in your hand, if you focus on it and you don't joke with it, you put your resources, your time, your money, your energy, you will see success. The reason you would think that somebody will go to America and get some dollar and send them here is because they work 3, 4 jobs, 18 hours a day. So the man who was here and very lazy, now a system is pushing to give the hours. That's why he has some difference to bring to you. If you were doing the same thing here, you will see results.
Exactly. I like this. I'll give my personal story, bro. When I started this small consulting that I was trying to do, I would get to my office at 6:30 a.m. every single day. And I'll stay in this office from 6:30 to about 8:30, working on this business. And then by 8:30, I leave and go and teach. And I close at 4. By 4:35, I'm back here and I stay here from about 5 to like 8 p.m. So I was doing 3 hours in the evening and 3 hours in the morning. My friends laughed at me. I remember I told one of my friends, a chartered accountant, I said, Charlie, can we put our resources together? You are a lecturer, I'm a lecturer. You are a chartered accountant, I'm a chartered marketer. We all have MBAs. Can we bring our resources together to see how this can work? You know what you told me? Brad, I'm telling you. I mean, and I'm happy I didn't give up. So the thing about resilience, that's what I'm telling them. This book, Resilience, is a book that has really, really got me to understand that, yes, I'm on the right path. I only have to be focused, and our team has to be focused and just get it done. Because, I mean, if today you can go and speak, and within just about a day, you are paid a 15,000 Ghana cedis, when you are paid 7,000 cedis working for 30 days, bro, more.
I didn't hear that one.
So the mindset thing is very true, and I perfectly agree with you. The next one I really love is the fact that be tenacious. You have to stay in the game because it's not going to be easy. Because the people surrounding you know that this is not possible. The government has to take care of us. Somebody has to take care of us. So the moment you take that path, you become a totally different person. You become like a crazy person, and they will laugh at you. They will mock at you. They will give all kinds of comments. And I remember one day somebody was talking to his friend, and he said, "Oh, was it ticket? I was happy." I'm busy doing something. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate this so much. Let me ask you
That's
this,
right.
based on this conversation now. Now, there's somebody who is trying to now stay in the game and still get a job done.
Uh-huh.
He's struggling.
Yeah.
Probably looking for some small funding to support it. It's not working.
Mm.
GRA has come to harass them. They're
Mm.
worried.
Mm.
Um, the team that he's working with are lazy. They're not committing to this guy. But the guy knows that, yes, if I stay in my country, I can get this done. What do we tell this guy? This frustrated young
Oh,
person.
okay. We have to understand that our institutions were not built, they were not designed to promote us.
Hmm.
So you have to be armed before they come. It means that whatever they do should not shock you.
Yeah.
I don't really expect so much from the system. There are individuals within that system that can be very much helpful. At the same time, the same thing with your workers. They have to be trained. These are workers who are looking for visa to travel.
Yeah.
These are workers who don't believe that it is their duty to become successful in life. They think it's the job of the government, the job of God to become successful. These are people who are who are saying that even when they are working, they want to stop and go to school. You know, they don't know that they can go to school and work at the same time.
Yeah.
Many of our people who complete university have never worked. Their first job is the national service, 23, 24, 25. They are late. And so when they come to work, you have to really, really be patient and really maybe retrain them. And
Hmm.
so in the middle of all those, just understand that it's a phase. It's a phase. You're building, you're learning. Just like a child trying to walk, they will fall. And so long as that child gets up, there's hope. And so I would say that when you are in the middle of difficulties, put things in perspective and don't just give up on yourself and don't kill yourself and blame yourself so much.
Hmm.
Yes, there could be mistakes that maybe you made, but it is part of the journey.
Hmm.
And those mistakes will overcome you when you quit, when you give up, when you speak badly to yourself. You know, so in the middle of this, that is not the time to say that Ghana dear you. Ghana dear. My Ghana dear
But
you.
again, it brings us back to your mindset. It brings us back again to the same thing, your mindset.
That's right. So in the middle of all those, keep yourself, hold yourself. Don't be bitter, don't be pain, be
Hmm.
hopeful, work on yourself. And that's why I like you have to constantly be somebody who is learning,
Yeah.
adding value to yourself, get information. So check the radio station that you're listening to, check
Hmm.
your TV, check the social media handles, check your friends, check your circles. What is it that you're learning in this environment? Don't forget that you are just about 10% of the people. And so you cannot feed yourself with what the 90% is feeding themselves with
Yeah.
and think that you'll be different. So you need to really lift yourself, polish yourself, always be listening to something that will encourage you, that will give you some kind of knowledge as in what you're doing. And I think that continuous learning, adding value to yourself, going for knowledge, reading books, articles, talking to people who are doing it, having a network of great minds will put you above the difficulties. Because then
Wow.
nothing will be strange to you because other people have gone through the same path and
Yeah.
it's not special. And when you're going through troubles, it's not the devil, it's not any demon. It is normal. It's just normal phase, which is trying to refine you because you have to be refined to a stage where you are able to get the results.
Hmm.
So the mistakes and the errors, it's just like processing gold or processing anything and extracting the debris or the dirt. It gets to a point it becomes pure. And that's the point that there is value and results. And so you as an entrepreneur, when you are going through all these things, they are extracting the dirt, the bad thinking, the wrong knowledge, the wrong decisions, the bad habits. They are extracting or they are being extracted from you. You become gold, you become valuable. That's why you can look back and say the first day that you started. And now after 5 years, you are not the same person.
Yeah.
You have built capacity. You have created different network. You think differently. You have different skill set. You don't just give up. And that is at the point that you start to see success. And so when you are not there yet, that's why the success has not come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you must be the one who is producing the success. And there is a person that you must become before that person can produce the success that you
Yeah,
see.
there are two things that you say that really is touching me. It's about adding value to yourself in terms of knowledge, and then number
Yes.
two, your friendship. I mean, just
Yes.
today, somebody called me. and told me that, TK, I like what you're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this thing, check it. It was something I have never thought about it. It brings to me the issue about if you have the right people around you and they understand the direction you're going, they think for you.
That's
You
right.
strategically position yourself in such a way that you get consultancy for free. And if Wala, I'll just say, Wala, I call him my brother because this is someone who thinks for you. I mean, he just come in this morning around 6:30 a.m. and the first thing he said, please do this and do that, do that. And what he taught to me, what you told me was exactly what I had to do because it was going to create a problem for us.
Wow.
My friends on the call today, do you have such a friend around you? Do you have somebody that is looking beyond, over your shoulders to help you to do the right things? Do you have somebody that you can call and say, Charlie, I'm trying to do this, I can't do it? And the person would willingly say, go and read this book, or let me tell you this, or go and do this, or go and do that. Do you have that kind of friend? Because don't forget, like Mr. Dako is saying right now, the environment within which you are operating is so choked to the point that the moment you start getting yourself out of it, you need that resilience, that power, that the tenacity to stay in this game. I call it the word of the great. You need to have that mental toughness, the emotional stability, and the physical endurance to stay in this game called entrepreneurship because it is not easy. And I really love that. The second one is the issue about empowering your mind, reading and thinking. I remember one day I was traveling to Sunyane and one of our, two friends decided to join me in the same car. We're going for a program. And then as soon as we start in the car, I put in How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And we listened to about 35 minutes. And then I noticed that they were not really enjoying it. So I changed it to this book by Donald Trump called Think Big. And again, one of the guys said, Master book boring power. Now, then what From that day, I told myself I will never travel with anybody by car because they're going to distract me. So I said, what do you want us to listen to? So you say you do Sun City, you do Sun City, you be no sports. I said, oh, the guy you are going to listen to, that Ronaldo guy, his weekly pay can be your whole lifetime salary. Why do you have to listen to him? Of course, once in a while, you may want to listen to them to get some inspiration. But why would I have to spend 1 hour listening to a sports program that the guy is not going to add any value to me? So for me, these two things really strike me. Mental development, reading books, seminars, conferences, and especially getting the right people around you. You really hit on the nail. I really appreciate this. Now, there's this other guy who is doing so well and is making some money. What advice would you give to this guy? Because we are talking about wealth creation. Now, the guy is working on his mindset to now say that if it has to be, it's up to me. The second stage is that he's now decided, I want to do it. With all the struggles and all the pains and everything, I've decided to stay in the game to get it done. Now, he has done it so well. So many have started trickling in. How do we create wealth as entrepreneurs and small business owners from this point onwards?
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The part we took, we went through construction, the fashion accessories industry. We worked over 10 years and we started to see some level of wealth. So say if you go to the malls, you see MV. My wife and I, we built it from ground. And we decided to focus on properties. It is not highly leveraged because you have to, it's not debt driven, it's not debt finance. We had to use, whatever that we had after everything to focus on that. So we focus on real estate, so apartment units. So we built. I think that the moment you start to see money, don't waste it. Is it that you're going to expand the business? So maybe you have 10 employees. Can you get to 100? So you can focus on that. If you're doing thousands, can you get to millions? Maybe you're doing 100,000 a month. Can you get to 300,000, 1 million a month? Grow the business to a point where you make so much that whatever the business needs to grow, you still have excess. And then that excess, you decide. Don't go and give it to stock market people because tomorrow they'll speak a lot of English to you. Even when the shares are going down, they still will be paying themselves. So don't put all your money in their hands. Make sure that you invest money in things that you understand and things that you have some bit of control. So I would say, look at the agric stream. Cocoa farm and palm oil and orange, they are all still available to us. The other thing is look at anything that you can develop in the land. Some people can build shops, some people can build houses, or maybe you still go into trading. Maybe you are in phones, you can go to other areas and expand your businesses and enter other industries. The other thing will be which other area? So I've talked of agriculture, I've talked of maybe properties and maybe production. You could go into production from any sector. It could be tools, it could be materials, it could be fruit juice, whichever area that you can add value. These are the things that we have advantage. If you focus so much on things that you bring, which is dollar driven, then no matter how much capital you're able to accumulate, just one wrong decision from the top can break us down. You know, so conserve money, look at industries that are not directly affected when there is any shake in a CD dollar situation, because it's not going to stop now. It will continue.
Yeah.
Looking at the structure of economy. So you don't have to work CSS and keep it in the bank. You don't keep money. You use your account to just, it has to pass through.
Yeah.
Your money, you can't have 2 million and it's still in your savings account for 3 years. You can't create wealth like that. So pick the money, use the account as a conduit, and have places that you invest in. So you can invest in the businesses, in the business that you understand, and expand it in hundreds and thousands. Or you can look at anything agriculture, or you can look at properties as well. And any other area. Some people would want to go into technology and the internet area. It depends on the expertise. But whatever it is, put your money in areas that you really have understanding and you have some kind of control.
Wow, great. We need more people like you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's please get Mr. Daku's book on financial freedom, I think. Please, can you talk about this quickly?
Yeah, so we have about 3 financial books. Let me show you.
Maybe let's take this time to also talk about all the books, because I have all of them and I'm happy. I have all the books. I want all the books.
Thank you. So we have financial freedom. We have okay, this is my first financial book, How to Teach Yourself Money, Streamline.
Yeah.
To teach yourself money. I'm an engineer, so my topics have some engineering sense. This is financial freedom, making your money work for you. And this is financial intelligence. You know, when you want to read the other books, read them, but make sure that you bring them to the culture. So extract the principles and make sure that you're able to apply them here. You know, so extract. So they will tell you that, okay, for instance, if you're in real estate, go and look for other people's money. And they mean that go to the bank at a rate of 5% a year for 30 years, or even 1%. Ghana bank rate is 40% a year. So when they tell you go for other people's money, they are not telling you to go to Ghana Bank.
No.
You have to keep that in mind. I think God is speaking to you. I feel sad when I see a lot of our young men desperate, young women desperate, thinking that they cannot build their future here. And if you can't build your future here, then where else can you build your future? So creating that hope, shifting minds, changing destinies. Thank you. And I will say continue to do that. And if you're here as a young man, be open-minded. Be open-minded. The distractions are too many. Visa is one of them. Football, lotto, all kind of things. If you're focused, you must have life goals. You must have at least 5-10 years that you look up to. Structure your life, family, finance, even faith, you know, and make sure that you also contribute your part in building our nation. We can't just run away and think that the nation and the continent will be built. No, we are the ones to do it. Everybody else is coming to Africa, and we want to be liberals. It's not that Africa is poor. It is that our minds have been infested with wrong information. So once we change that, you see the possibilities on our continent, and you can build. You can pick anything. It's the easiest place to build anything. We just don't know. That's why the Chinese are here. They're creating millions. But you are still debating that, oh, they came with money. A lot of them didn't come with anything. The English, they don't even speak. They don't speak tree. But they are here. They have great work ethics. They're focused. They want to get what they came for. So have the same thing in your life. And you see that you create millions, and you create businesses that will employ a lot of people. We need you to build businesses that will employ hundreds and thousands of people. Don't count on the structure we have, because we don't have any now. We have to rebuild a whole different structure that will create prosperity. And we are the generation to do that. And so I want to say thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful. I'm going to watch and listen to this again before I sleep tonight. And once I finish, I'll go on my knees and I pray to God to guide us and lead us. May God give you more wisdom. May God give you health. May He give you more direction to help be able to help and reshape our generation. So I want to say a very big thank you. I'm so grateful. The bottom of
Thank
my
you,
heart,
sir.
I say, my love go out for you. Have a good night. Till we meet again next week, Thursday. God bless us all. Go and build your business to last. Bye bye.